What we get will never make us happy. I don't care how many stars on your chart, how many Academy Awards, how much money you make. What makes us happy is progress.
Hello and welcome. Most of us have a secret desire to achieve success in our life. It provides us with goals and a sense of purpose, but defining success is tough. A success by any definition, Tony Robbins' persuasive powers and insight have helped him to create a self-help and life coaching empire that includes over 15 million books sold globally, 50 million audio programs sold, a life coach certification business.
But my goal was, I interviewed 50 of the smartest financial people in the world, the Warren Buffetts, the Carl Icahns, the Ray Dalios, the best in the earth.
And seminars where attendees pay as much as $8,000. His business empire isn't limited to self-help though. He has leveraged his network into a diverse web of businesses, building and investing in companies, credit cards, hospitality, nutritional supplements, private equity, sports teams, 3D printing, and most recently, wealth management.
On the subject of business, and have them say it was one of the greatest experiences of their life, and then more importantly, go out and produce the result.
By Robbins' count, he's involved in 31 companies, 12 of which he actively manages, to the tune of a reported $5 billion in annual revenue. As his business and personal networks grow, he gains access to new ideas, opportunities, and relationships. Many of his most quoted mantras center around the same compelling message.
But all these things have in common is what we're really after when after money is a better quality of life.
Fear holds you back. The confidence to live fully and to take action, and the constancy of purpose to strive passionately drives you forward. Everyone wants consistency, whether it's in running a business, investing, supervising employees, dieting.
What makes people successful in their mind and their emotions, because pulling that gun, there's a certain amount of mechanics, but there's also a strategy of what you do in your head.
Academic excellence, scientific research, nurturing one's passion, exercising, or parenting. Consistency develops routines, form habits, and builds momentum. Define your life's purpose. Work on it while remaining consistently focused, and stay true to your constancy of purpose.
Success is life on your terms, but it's also a meaningful life. We all want to be able to change the way we feel. That's what I spend my life showing people how to do. And what most people don't know is the emotion is created by motion. The way you move determines the way you feel. You have 80 different muscles in your face, 80. For most people, this is the largest area of unemployment in the country. They use the face the same way, they feel the same emotions over and over and over again. So what I was saying is I have this deal with myself called priming. Every day I say, look, you got to have 10 minutes for yourself. You don't have 10 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. And I'm not going to hope I feel good. I just got back 6 countries in 12 days. I was in India 2 days ago.
Wow.
And I woke up here feeling like somebody ran me over with a truck. But the way I did it is I do this process, and it's 10 minutes, I put some music on, I do this massive change in my breathing, so it radically changes the way I feel. And then I do this 3-step process. First, I do 3 minutes of gratitude, where I think of 3 things I'm really grateful for, and I don't think of it over there, I feel it. And the reason is, when you're grateful, you can't be worried. You can't be fearful. When you're grateful, you can't be angry. And anger and fear are what screw people up most in their relationships, in their life, in their business. So I wire myself. I was saying to you that most people want to be happy, but their habit is to be worried or pissed off or frustrated or stressed. And so they've got a highway to stress and they got a dirt road to happiness. So I wire myself. I've got a highway to gratitude, which changes all your emotions. I think it's really critical that you understand that everybody wants to grow their business, and we all go through different phases, right? Just like human beings go through phases. You give birth to your business and you're an infant, and an infant is a run for survival, and cash flow problems are a natural process in most cases, and you're running. Hopefully you get to a teenager where now cash flow is not a problem, you're growing like crazy, and then you have a new problem. You don't have systems in place. Where you're growing your business revenues and you're growing your profits and you got a professional organization, you're not doing it. Because as long as you're doing it, really you don't have a business. What you have is you're self-employed. There's nothing wrong with being self-employed. But whenever you meet someone who's in business is stressed, they're always a business operator. And my focus is to become a business owner. How do you do that? You realize that the chokehold on the growth of your business is always the leader. And it's your skills and it's your psychology. And I found it's 80% psychology and 20% skills. You gotta have the marketing skills. You gotta be able to lead. You gotta be able to recruit. You gotta do all those things. But really, most importantly, you gotta get it through what I call the threshold of control. And this, to me, is the secret to really succeeding in business. And it's pretty simplistic. If your motive is to serve something greater, there is an energy that comes up inside of you. So I feed 2 million people a year because somebody fed my family when I was 11 years old. And now this year we're feeding 4 million. I want to do more in that area. And every business I'm in, that drive just doesn't go away. Well, it's interesting. Since 2008, you've seen most large enterprise companies have really figured out how to respond to the world economic crisis at that time by cutting, right? They figured out how to cut their costs, they grew their bottom lines, and they built up their cash. And so they've done very well. But that was 5 years ago, and it's getting hard to keep cutting. You can't cut your way to growth at this point. So most major corporations are now saying, what do we do about the top line? How do we really grow revenues and sales? And so I built something called Coaching in the Cloud, which we've done for some of the most successful companies in the world. And what it does is it comes in and it revamps the sales process. But the challenge is they've lost some of the disciplines that maximize the process. So we also, though, are showing people how to maximize technology. So I have a patent pending process in a company that's working with everybody from General Electric to Reuters. It's called Knowledge Now. And it allows you to take the knowledge you need. Instead of learning the old style, we got great technology and an old way of learning. You get to learn in the application, like Salesforce.com. While you're there, you're able to get the answers you need when you're working on clients right now. Not go to some class where you're going to forget 90% of it, but do it right now. We found it to be really, really impactful. I didn't just take new people and train them mentally to bring it closer. The first time I had people shooting a gun, they practiced everything perfectly, just like the best guys in the world. When I saw everybody losing, tons of people losing their homes, losing half of their net worth overnight, it wasn't like a statistic to me because I grew up really poor. I know what that feels like. And I thought somebody's going to do something. And when 2010, 2 years later, nothing had changed, and the same people that basically destroyed the financial system, we punished them by putting them in charge of the recovery and giving them all our money. It was just mind-boggling. There's a great documentary, if your audience hasn't seen it, that won an Academy Award called Inside Job. But there's no solution, so you're either pissed off or you're depressed because, like, what are you going to do? I got pissed off and it said, I have one thing, I have access.